Hey, what up, family? Welcome back to the Phil One Up channel. So it's really cold outside. I'm just cozied up in my blanket trying to stay warm. But I wanted to get on here and have another Phil One Up discussion with you all. I love having these conversations. I usually have them late at night, but Mom One Up is currently away out of the house, so I thought now would be a good time to do this. I wanted to talk about Golden Sun. So if you missed the news a couple days ago, Nintendo dropped that Golden Sun will be returning on the 17th. And I see so many people online really excited about it, cheering, happy, can't wait to play it. It's kind of funny because all of these accounts pop up at once. And you sit there and you're like, fool, I know 90% of you have probably never played this dang game. Everybody just wants to be one of the cool kids. Like, oh, Golden Sun? I remember playing that. I never played it before. Don't tell them, but I haven't. But regardless, if you've never played it or you have, Golden Sun is fantastic. It is by far one of the best experiences that I have ever had on the Game Boy Advance. It was my favorite JRPG on that handheld. And if you remember, around summertime, I picked up in-box copies of the first two games and the DS copy as well. I just loved those games. And they're the only in-box Game Boy Advance games that I have because they meant so much to me. I absolutely adored those games. All the little dungeons that you could get, and they would help you environmental puzzles, and then you get into the combat and you get to use their powers there, and you can the more of them that you get, you can combine into these massive summons that will do world-shattering damage. And it is such a cool game. Fantastic. Should the characters have showed up in Smash Brothers playable? Yes. Should the little dungeon summons be used as a consumable item during a Smash battle? Yes. Should there have been a Golden Sun level in Smash Brothers? Yes. All of the above. I would very much love some merchandise and figures of the characters and a little plush of the dungeons, because I'd go crazy if we got all that with Golden Sun, especially an amiibo. Golden Sun. This should be fantastic news, a great thing, but I'm gonna be that one person on the hill to say, but wait, because there's a big caveat here. As much as I love Golden Sun getting its day in the sun again, I cannot really rejoice in this because it's tied to Nintendo's online membership service. Now, I know some people probably be like, well, bro, what's the big deal? People are getting to play it. Why do you have a problem with that? I have a problem with that because you have to pay for Nintendo's online membership to have access to Golden Sun. Access to so many classic Nintendo IPs. Nintendo 64 games, some Sega games, some other Game Boy games, NES, SNES, whatnot. Golden Sun is a fantastic JRPG series, and this should have been more. Nintendo finally acknowledges it, and all they're going to do is put it on this membership, lock it in behind a membership paywall instead of letting you actually own it. I want a physical release for Golden Sun on the Nintendo Switch. Physical. In fact, I want a physical release for a lot of those retro games they're not giving us. And I don't understand why Nintendo can't do this, because they've done this several times before in the past. On the NES, there was the Duck Hunt cartridge and the Mario Brothers cartridge. And then what did they do? They combined the two into one cartridge, and then they released it, which is the cartridge that I played a crap ton of as a kid. Super Mario All-Stars on the SNES was a fantastic compilation of all of the NES Mario games on one cartridge. And then just throughout the years, there was the Mario All-Stars on the Wii. We got the Mario 3D All-Stars collection on the Nintendo Switch. We got so many N64 games on the 3DS physically. Star Fox 64, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Fancied up graphics, but still 64 games. So for me to accept that, and this is good enough, the bare minimum, if you could even call slapping it on an online membership the bare minimum, I'm just not for it. All it's doing is pushing us further and further to an all-digital age. I don't really want to support any memberships. I made a previous video talking about this and whatnot. I've made my feelings known, but I am done with memberships. Don't care if it's Microsoft, don't care if it's Sony, don't care if it's Nintendo. Memberships for video games are done completely with me. I will not pay for them anymore, because look at what Microsoft has done. Microsoft was the first company to charge in the console space to play games online. They're the ones that were greedy. They got the ball rolling on all of this, and they just kept doing more and more and more. And then Sony started to come in and do the same thing with PS Plus. It went from being optional on PS3 to being mandatory on PS4 if you wanted to play online. And then Microsoft started changing their online infrastructure, Game Pass, and then Sony changed theirs by taking PlayStation Now and PS Plus and fusing it together. And then they increased their price for no apparent reason because you get nothing extra with it. And now both Microsoft and Sony are making more digital-based consoles. Microsoft clearly doesn't care about physical. Retail stores are rumored to stop carrying physical Xbox games because Microsoft doesn't want to sell consoles. They don't want to sell physical games. They just want to sell Game Pass. That is their big goal. Sony has become a little subsidiary of Microsoft in a way. I like to call them Sony Soft because they're literally adopting so many of Microsoft's mentalities. And Nintendo is over here fighting the good fight, being the last bastion of physical, but what did they do on the Nintendo Switch? They started to charge for online. So what does that mean? That means they're walking into that space. They're seeing what Microsoft did, they're seeing what Sony is doing, and they're like, we can't ignore this anymore. We got to start getting a piece of this pie. We got to start charging for online. And then they did kind of upgrade that service. And now they put these Game Boy games and other retro games tied to the online membership with no other way to have access or purchase them legally. And the more people that buy into it, the more people that go, oh my gosh, Golden Sun's coming back. Oh my gosh, oh, I gotta get Nintendo Online. Ah! Now I know what you're thinking. Dude, you're making a bigger deal than this. You're blowing this out of proportion. It's not that big thing. You're just being Mr. Negative. You're just complaining. Which is funny because somebody on Twitter literally was upset that I did not share their opinion or I wasn't overly excited for it. They said that, don't you understand? Golden Sun fans are really happy about this. And I was like, I am a Golden Sun fan. I'm a Golden Sun fan that wanted more. I wanted to actually have them physical in my collection on the Nintendo Switch. I wanted some real appreciation for these games. This is by far the laziest way of releasing these games. Is it very affordable and cheap for Nintendo? Of course. But to me, it's a disservice to the games. And like I said, the more people that pay into this, the faster we get to digital-only consoles. No more disk drives and cart slots in your consoles. That's what's going to happen. And if you think that it's not going to happen, just look at movies and television shows. Look at movie theaters. Nobody really wants to go to movie theaters anymore. They just want to stream it in their house. And we've all done it. We've all been a part of it. I have done my part of damaging physical media, but when it comes to video games, that's over. How many times have we paid for these memberships and then we don't even use them. Last year, I paid for PlayStation Extra so I could play some games with a friend, and I played a few times, and I've never used the service. Never downloaded anything. How many times you got PlayStation Plus, redeem the PS Plus games for the month, but you don't actually download them and play them? You just add them to your category. It's like being on Netflix when you have free time to watch movies, but you spend all that free time browsing and adding things to your watch list without actually watching anything. Even though you pay for the service. And even the services are getting bad too. Look at Amazon. You pay for Amazon Prime, and then they made this announcement that now, if you want to have commercial free, you got to pay additional money. And it's $3.99 extra. The whole point of streaming services was to have no commercials, get around that, just have direct access to watching these shows and these movies. And now it's like we went back in time to the 90s and you're paying for cable or you're paying for like Dish and you're having to see commercials again. But now you got to pay to get rid of the commercials. It's ridiculous. Well, Nintendo Online is the cheapest of all of them. It's not really expensive like Microsoft or Sony and brr, brr, brr. Well, that's because it's the early stages. But as more people adopt the service, the more expensive it will get. Because they can do it. They can get away with it. They've already got you locked in. They tantalize you and they seduce you with these good offers and great deals. And then once you're signed up for it, baby, it's over. You're stuck with it. You're going to keep paying for it again and again, whether you use it or not. And that's what they're betting on. So, as excited as I am and happy to see Golden Sun getting some love, I'm disappointed that it's not more. If you really think Nintendo is going to continue to give you access for these games for the foreseeable future, I mean, all you have to do is look at other games that have been delisted digitally or just services that were stricken and removed. With the 3DS store closure and all those games going away, same with the Wii U, we already know that Nintendo does not do well with letting people actually continue to have things they pay for when it comes to digital. I don't want to rely on the company's good faith to let me continue to like and enjoy things that I want to like and enjoy. I want to be the only one that decides when, where, how, and why I get to enjoy and experience entertainment. And we are now seeing that freedom of choice is being taken away from us and stuffed into online memberships and subscription-based services and then sold to you as the only option. And when it's the only option, you will have no choice but to either pay up or find something else to do. I'll have plenty of games in my collection to keep me busy, so it's not really going to be that detrimental to me. I wish I had more of the retro, though. Should have been smarter there. What up, family? You let me know in the comments below how you feel about this. Are you excited that Golden Sun is coming back? Have you never played the games before? Do you wish they would do more with these retro games, making more all-star collections? Until next time, happy gaming, happy collecting, and let's all one-up our collections together. All right, bye!
Game over now!
Bill 1UP collects. Subscribe to join the 1UP family today, and let's all 1UP our collections together. Happy gaming and collecting, everyone. See you real soon.